Did you know that in just 60 years, many of our beloved marine species could vanish from our oceans? A startling truth to contemplate, isn't it? Yet this is the grim reality we are currently facing. Overfishing, a human-induced global crisis, is causing a rapid decline in marine life, pushing many species towards the brink of extinction. Let's take the Atlantic bluefin tuna as an example. Known for its speed and strength, this magnificent fish has been a vital part of the ocean's ecosystem for millions of years. Unfortunately, due to its high demand in sushi markets worldwide, its population has plummeted by more than 2/3 over the past 4 decades. If this trend continues, the Atlantic bluefin tuna may become a mere memory within our lifetime. Next, we have the Pacific halibut, a flatfish that can grow up to 8 feet long and live for up to 55 years. This species is a significant part of the commercial and recreational fishing industry in the North Pacific Ocean. However, overfishing has led to a sharp decline in their numbers, threatening not just the species, but the livelihoods of those who depend on them. These are just 2 examples among countless others. It's not just about the fish either. The disappearance of these species can trigger a cascade of effects, disrupting the balance of the entire marine ecosystem. When one link in the food chain is removed, it impacts everything else around it. This is not an issue we can afford to turn a blind eye to. If we continue on this path, we risk losing the rich biodiversity that makes our oceans so unique and vital to our planet's health. We are not just talking about a few species here and there, we are talking about the potential collapse of entire ecosystems. Yes, you heard it right. We are on a fast track to an ocean devoid of some of its most majestic creatures. Stay with us as we delve deeper into this crisis, its consequences, and what we can do to help. Because every one of us has a role to play in preserving the incredible wealth of life that calls our oceans home. But what exactly is overfishing, and why is it such a big problem? Overfishing, simply put, is the act of catching fish from the sea at a rate that outpaces their ability to reproduce and replenish their numbers. It's like withdrawing money from your bank account faster than you can deposit. Eventually, you'll run out. Now, this might not seem like a huge issue at first glance. After all, the ocean is vast and fish are plentiful, right? Well, not quite. You see, just like the land, the ocean has its limits too. Each species of fish has a certain rate at which they can reproduce and replenish their numbers. If we catch them faster than they can reproduce, well, you see where I'm going with this. But why is overfishing happening at such an alarming rate? The answer lies in the advancements in fishing technology. In the past, fishermen relied on simple tools and their knowledge of the sea. They could only catch so many fish, and the fish had time to reproduce. However, with the advent of powerful fishing vessels equipped with advanced sonar systems and enormous nets capable of scooping up thousands of fish in a single haul, we've tipped the scales. These advancements have made it incredibly easy to catch large quantities of fish. Too easy, in fact. The fish just can't keep up. It's as if we've equipped ourselves with a supercharged vacuum cleaner, sucking up everything in our path. And just like a vacuum cleaner, we're not selective. We're catching not only the fish we want, but also many other species that get caught in the crossfire. This is known as bycatch, and it's another significant problem caused by overfishing. So why is overfishing such a big problem? Because it's not sustainable. It's not just about the fish either. Overfishing impacts the entire ocean ecosystem. Fish are a vital part of the food chain, and without them, the balance is disturbed. It's a domino effect. In essence, we're taking fish out of the ocean faster than they can reproduce. The effects of overfishing aren't confined to just the species being fished. This might seem like a simple statement, but it carries a profound truth that is often overlooked. Overfishing doesn't just affect the species being fished. It sets off a chain reaction that disrupts the entire marine ecosystem. Imagine a house of cards. Each card represents a species in the marine ecosystem. When we remove too many of one type of card, let's say the tuna card, the entire structure becomes unstable and can collapse. That's the domino effect of overfishing in a nutshell. Overfishing is like pulling at a thread in a finely woven tapestry. You might only intend to remove one thread, but it's connected to so many others that the whole tapestry begins to unravel. In the marine ecosystem, this unraveling can lead to the decline of other marine species. It's not just about the fish we're pulling out of the ocean, it's about the balance we're upsetting. Let's take the North Atlantic cod as an example. Overfishing of this species led to a significant drop in their population. This might seem like an isolated incident, but it's not. The decline of the North Atlantic cod impacted their predators, like seals, and their prey, like smaller fish and shrimp. This domino effect rippled through the ecosystem, affecting species that were not directly overfished. The decline of one species can lead to an increase in its prey, which can then overconsume their food source, leading to a further imbalance. Meanwhile, predators of the overfished species may struggle to find enough food, causing their numbers to decline as well. The result is a destabilized ecosystem where the scales are tipped and nature's delicate balance is thrown off kilter. So it's crucial to understand that overfishing isn't just about fish. It's about maintaining the intricate web of life that exists beneath the ocean's surface. By pulling too many threads, we risk unraveling this tapestry, leading to a cascade of unintended consequences. So, overfishing doesn't just deplete fish populations, it destabilizes the entire marine ecosystem. Let's keep this in mind as we explore the human impact in our next scene. But it's not just marine life that's at risk here. Our oceans are vast, but not infinite, and within these waters, a complex tapestry of life and livelihoods is woven together. Overfishing doesn't just threaten the fish, but also the millions of people worldwide who rely upon the sea for their sustenance and survival. Imagine a world where your local fishmonger's stall stands empty. Picture the bustling coastal towns, now quiet, their harbors no longer ringing with the clatter of returning fishing boats. This could very well be our reality if the current rates of overfishing continue. For many, the ocean isn't just a source of food, it's their economic heartbeat. Fishing industries employ millions of people around the globe, from those who cast the nets to those who pack the catch for market. In fact, it's estimated that 1 in 10 people in the world rely on fisheries and aquaculture for their livelihoods. But as fish stocks dwindle, so do these jobs. Communities that have thrived on fishing for generations find themselves struggling to make ends meet. And it's not just the direct jobs at stake. Think of the knock-on effect on the businesses that supply the fishing industry, or the tourism that's drawn to vibrant marine life and thriving coastal communities. Beyond employment, the decline in fish stocks threatens our food security. Nearly 3 billion people rely on fish as a significant source of protein. As the catch decreases, so does this crucial nutritional resource, particularly in developing countries where alternative sources of protein can be scarce or expensive. The economic and nutritional ripples of overfishing spread far and wide, touching each of us in ways we may not even realize. And these aren't problems we can simply swim away from. They're issues that require urgent attention and action for the health of both our oceans and ourselves. When the fish are gone, the ripple effects on our economy and our food supply will be devastating. But all is not lost. We can still turn the tide on overfishing. Enter the concept of sustainable fishing practices, a beacon of hope in an otherwise bleak scenario. These practices are rooted in the understanding that our oceans are not an inexhaustible resource. They celebrate balance, respect, and foresight, and are designed to preserve marine species and restore harmony to our ocean ecosystems. So what does sustainable fishing look like? Well, it's a multifaceted approach. It includes practices like setting catch limits, respecting habitats, and reducing bycatch. Let's delve a little deeper. Catch limits are designed to prevent overfishing by imposing restrictions on the number and types of fish that can be caught. These limits are set based on careful scientific research and are essential to ensure that fish populations can replenish themselves. Next, habitats. Our oceans are complex ecosystems where every creature, large and small, has a role to play. Protecting habitats means safeguarding the breeding grounds and food sources of marine species. This includes measures like establishing marine protected areas where fishing is limited or banned outright. Finally, reducing bycatch. This refers to the unintended capture of non-target species during fishing. Dolphins, sea turtles, and even certain types of birds can get caught up in the nets. By using more selective fishing gear and techniques, we can significantly reduce these accidental catches. These practices, when adopted globally, can make a significant difference. They can help to rebuild depleted fish stocks, restore balance to our oceans, and secure the livelihoods of millions of people who depend on fishing for their survival. But remember, sustainable fishing practices are not just about regulations and restrictions. They're about changing our mindset, about understanding that our actions today will shape the world of tomorrow. Sustainable fishing isn't just a choice, it's a necessity for the survival of our oceans. Let's make the commitment to a future where our seas teem with life, where every wave tells a story of respect and balance, not overexploitation and decline. But what can you, as an individual, do to help? Firstly, let's talk about your seafood consumption. It's crucial to be aware of what you're eating and where it comes from. Consider the seafood you purchase at the grocery store or order at a restaurant. Is it sustainably sourced? If you're uncertain, don't hesitate to ask. Many businesses are now transparent about their sourcing practices. By opting for seafood that's responsibly harvested, you're supporting the health of our oceans and the livelihoods of those who depend on them. Next, let's consider the companies you support. There are plenty of businesses out there that engage in sustainable fishing practices. They understand the importance of maintaining the balance of marine life and are committed to doing their part. By choosing to support these companies, you're directly contributing to the solution. Moreover, using your voice can be just as impactful. Advocate for stricter fishing regulations. This could mean signing petitions, attending rallies, or even writing to your local representatives. It's a powerful way to ensure that governments and corporations pay attention. Remember, the more noise we make, the harder it is for them to ignore the issue. And finally, spread the word. Share what you've learned about overfishing and its effects with your friends, family, and social media followers. The more people that are aware of the issue, the greater the impact we can collectively make. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when faced with global issues like overfishing. But remember, you're not powerless. Each one of us can make a difference. By being mindful of our seafood consumption, supporting sustainable companies, advocating for stricter regulations, and spreading the word, we can all play a part in preserving our oceans. Remember, every small action counts when it comes to saving our oceans. Our oceans and the life within them need our help now more than ever. We've seen the stark reality of the rapid decline of marine species. We've explored the gravity of the overfishing crisis and the domino effect it has on our marine ecosystems. We've touched on the human impact and how our actions, often unknowingly, contribute to this pressing issue. Over the course of the last 6 decades, we've witnessed a drastic reduction in marine biodiversity. This isn't just a number on a page. It's a reality that we, as a global community, must confront. It's a call to action that we cannot ignore. We've also delved into sustainable fishing practices and how they can help mitigate the damage. These practices aren't just a nice to have, they're a must-have. They're the lifeline our oceans desperately need. They're the beacon of hope in an otherwise grim situation. But it's not enough to just talk about sustainable fishing. We need to actively support it. We need to make conscious choices at the supermarket, at the restaurant, and in our everyday lives that favor sustainability. We need to ask questions, to challenge the status quo, to demand transparency from those who provide us with seafood. And it's not just about the seafood we consume. It's also about spreading awareness, educating others, advocating for stricter regulations, and supporting organizations that are fighting the good fight. Remember, every small action counts. Every responsible choice makes a difference. Every voice adds to the chorus calling for change. Our oceans are resilient, but they're not invincible. They need our help to bounce back, to thrive, to continue being a home for countless marine species. The urgency of the situation is clear. The time to act is now. The responsibility is ours. So stand with us. Support sustainable fishing and help us turn the tide on overfishing. The future of our oceans depends on it.